Hi, I'm Amrita and I let this book control my weekend in New York City. I was inspired by Kayla and Cindy's Books Control My Weekend videos and I wanted to do my own New York City version of it. And so I asked ChatGPT what book I should pick up for the project, and one of the books it recommended was One Last Stop. The story is about two women, Jane and August. August moves to New York for a fresh start. She is the typical new adult trying to figure out what career she wants to pursue and what kind of life she wants to live. And she has a subway commute on the Q train where she encounters Jane. But the twist here is that Jane is actually from the 1970s. She is displaced in time and she is literally stuck on the Q train and she can't get off the train. And that's not a spoiler, that's literally on the blurb of the book. The story is a sapphic romance with found family trope and a sci-fi twist. That's the kind of story I really love. So this book was the perfect candidate for the project. So I picked it up from the library and started reading it. And the first thing it talks about is August finding an apartment in Flatbush. And I have never really explored Flatbush, even though I have lived in the city for over 6 years now. So I decided to go all in on this project and booked an Airbnb in Flatbush. And that's how I ended up with the cutest, cleanest Airbnb I have ever stayed at. The whole apartment was very thoughtfully curated. Host was very approachable and again very thoughtful. She had snacks and ready-made food available to her guests so that they wouldn't have to go search for food right after check-in. It was a long weekend, so I checked in from Friday to Monday, and that was my base for the weekend. For my outfit, I'm trying to draw inspiration from the book cover. The characters are dressed in black, white, denim, and then pop of red. So that's what I'm going with as my color scheme is black, white, denim, and then for a pop of red, I have my red earrings. And she also has glasses on, so I put my glasses on. It's 1 p.m. and I am back at the Airbnb. I started off the day with brunch at a restaurant that has actually been on my to-visit list for a very long time. Really good food, really great service, very happy with that. And while I was having brunch, I read the first 2 chapters of the book and then kind of figured out where I wanted to go next. And then I went to the corner of Parkside and Flatbush to see the building where August lives, the building with the Popeye's kitchen. And then I walked to Prospect Park, took a walk through the park and got some more reading done. And now I'm back at the Airbnb to take a nap because I'm a little tired. And my plan for the rest of the day is to go get pancakes for dinner because that's what August and her friends do on her first day at the apartment. That's the plan for the rest of the day. I'm going to take a nap, read some more, and then go get pancakes. The personalities of the side characters in this book do a very good job of capturing the whole New Yorkers are kind but not nice aspect. She picked New York because she thought it would be every bit as cynical as her. There's a kindness she doesn't understand and evidence of things she convinced herself weren't real. So yeah, again, it does a very good job of capturing the essence of cynicism but also hope and kindness that coexists so beautifully in New York. So yeah, it's making me appreciate the city from a fresh perspective and I really like that. Okay, I really love this line. The older she's gotten, the more she prefers thinking of love as a hobby for other people. That's such a good line. I'm also enjoying how she's thinking of herself as a side character in somebody else's story, like an extra in a movie, because that is how I feel sometimes just wandering around in New York, especially in like Bushwick or Soho, where I feel like I'm just a background character in somebody else's storyline. So that feeling that she's dealing with really resonates with me. I'm at the part of the book now where they have finally figured out that Jane is stuck on the subway and now they are trying to figure out how and why. And August is also trying to educate her on the modern times. So they're talking about pizza and falafel and internet and cell phones, and it's just adorable but also really, really sad. I wanted to find a place on Church Ave because that's where Pancake Billy's House of Pancakes is, and I found a restaurant again that has been on my to-go list for a while, so that's a win. Airbnb about 20-ish pages from the end, and I'm very curious to see how this ends, but no matter how it ends, I know I'm going to love it. Like, it's already a 5-star. Let's read the final 20 pages. I'm so glad I finally read it. Yeah, it was just so good. Like 5 stars for sure. Okay, I think I'm going to take some time to process it and think about it some more, and then come to you with like my full review. But yeah, I'm just really happy right now. And now I'm back in my apartment and have had some time to sit with the story and process it, and my rating hasn't changed. It is still a 5-star read, and I liked quite a few things about the book. I really enjoyed reading about New York from a fresh perspective, like from the perspective of a person new to New York, because I feel like after living here for 6 years, I've kind of gotten jaded. It was nice to remember my initial feelings of the city, and it was just like a very nostalgic trip down memory lane that I really appreciated. The second thing that I liked about the book was the representation. Most of the queer books that I've read up till now have been about the coming out story and the societal pressure and the struggle, and all of those are very important conversations to have. But I also really enjoyed reading about a group of people for whom being yourself and living your true identity is just a given. They're way past that conversation, and now it's like slice of their life story and finding joy in like mundane things and just being treated as people and not as the labels assigned to them. It also resonates with me as a person who has lived in a neighborhood like Bushwick for the past 6 years. That is the culture in this neighborhood, where there's freedom to authentically be yourself at all times, and nobody's going to question you. And that's one of my favorite things about living in Bushwick. So having that reflected in the book was very special. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this project. My intention with this project is the same one that I had for my previous video, where I let a D&D show control my life for a week. My intention is to make me leave the apartment because in New York it is very easy to again get jaded and want to stay in your apartment all the time. This year I want to find new ways to re-engage with the city, explore parts of the city that I wouldn't necessarily think about on my own. Like, why would I visit Coney Island if not for this book? You know what I mean? I had a delightful weekend exploring Flatbush, Bush and riding the Q train and going to Coney Island and discovering 70s punk rock music. So yeah, it was just an overall a very delightful experience that I'm very happy about. I think this is a theme that I want to keep exploring on this channel, is themed vlogs that get me out of the apartment and exploring the city in different ways. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to follow along with the journey, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.